All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we are again, another edition of Courtney G's Spot. I'm your host, Courtney G. Saturday, October 12th, 2019. Live again, just like I said. Hopefully, look, check this out. We're not even started yet. We've already got people in there. This is fantastic. This is what we wanted to do. Tonight, we're going to get to those stories about the things that we don't usually talk about, the negative things. You notice my attire suits the evening. We're going to jump into the not so fun things. We kind of touched a little base on some of the topics we wanted to discuss last night, and maybe y'all can bring some stuff to the table today. If anything is bothering you, if you want to discuss life, you will have a story you want to throw in there. You can call, type, text, whatever you want to do. Get involved. We're going to do this again as long as you can stand it. So here we are. My co-host again is across the table. DC.
Good evening, everybody. How
DC in the house.
I know the topic of the evening is things that we're not necessarily fans of, but that doesn't mean we can't have a good time. So let's get in gear here and see where it steers.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot more fun tonight, I'm sure. It's a little bit more free form because, well, it's free form every night, but tonight we can discuss things that usually we don't talk about, perhaps.
Yes, again, because Friday nights we would like to keep it nice, YouTube friendly, so to speak, and then Saturdays we can get a little more out there with it.
So talk about a story. Tell us something shitty in your life. Tell us something that you don't enjoy. Tell us something that happened to you. We kind of mentioned it last night. We're not going to go deep into it yet because we just started, because we don't want to piss anybody off yet. But people in their blinkers, that's a simple thing. Just common courtesy. Maybe someone at your job you don't like, someone. Well, there's always someone at your job you don't like. That's just going to be inevitable. Nobody's going to be 100% happy with everybody. There's going to be somebody at the grocery store that pisses you off, or somebody at wherever. I'm traffic. Traffic is the worst. I'm sure everybody on right now is kind of from where we are, except for you, YouTube personality out there trying to watch. Make sure I don't say anything offensive. I know you're out there. This affects you too. So I know you can't talk to us. You're still a human being, and you can observe and relate to these situations that we're all talking about. So if you've got a story, tell me a story. Tell us something. What pisses you off?
Well, let's keep it soft. And we mentioned turn signals last night, and I'm going all PSA right now. Turn signals, and this is going to relate to a lot of things in reality. It's a very, very simple thing you can do that can possibly simplify so many things.
Just save so many accidents, save many problems.
That person's not going to be upset, and you
2
cutting
seconds
them off on their way to work. Maybe they're already late, and that was the final straw. And all you had to do is use your blinker, and then they have an opportunity to be a kind person, let you in. And then they're happier, and they may even have a better day, all because you used your blinker. And
just taking care of the things you need, just common courtesy, just being there for your fellow human. Hey, there's a bunch of people behind me. They're driving equally heavy vehicles, 2,000 plus pounds. That's a ton. If you took a ton and smashed a ton into another ton, those 2 tons are going to hurt each other. So if we tell that other ton behind us, hey, up here in a few seconds, I'm going to turn in a different direction, slow my travel down, and make a different direction. If we tell the people that, and then we save so many accidents and so many problems.
Time is also very important. You have to signal at a proper distance. Hey, I'm turning right here. As you're pulling up on the turn, not as you're turning. Slow down. Like, oh my God.
Not as you're turning.
That's even worse than not using your turn signal at all. And my personal opinion.
Yeah, just not. You might as well not use it at that point. If you're doing it as you're turning, you're only hitting it because you're turning the wheel. It's just your hand is too fat and you suck, and you're just turning the wheel. And that's what's happening. So if just instead of texting or talking to someone while you're your phone, just go like this. Like, let's check it out. Check it out. This real quick. I'll do a quick lesson. Like, this is left, and this is right. Now I know it's confusing because you're looking at the video and I might be swapped around. So I'm going to do it on the other side to show you how much it looks like. Okay, check it out. Check it out. Here we go. We're going to go left, and then right. You see that? It's like the same thing. Doesn't matter which side your steering wheel on. I don't care if you're in Europe and you're driving on the other side. It's the same. Check it out. I'm gonna do both hands at the same time. Watch. It's pretty magic. It's pretty neat. Watch it. There's the left and that's right. Simple stuff. Here we go. And we're helping out humanity right here live on a Saturday night. We've just changed the world by simply explaining to people that you don't have to go to driving classes now. I just told you all about it. You don't have to pay for anything. Actually, that was free information I just handed you. This is unbelievable. Subscribe, please.
Please subscribe.
Why would you not at this point? I've just given you something that you don't know. Like, this is fantastic.
Toss us a like. We're doing life-changing things here.
Oh, this is a progressive show. We're making moves here in the world. Oh, look, we just lost somebody.
Nope. Hey, it's okay. Those people who use their blinkers.
Yeah, they probably didn't.
They're just like, oh man, hey, I cut people off on a daily basis. I'm not hearing this message. No, thank you.
Yeah. Nope, they came back. They said, okay, I agree with these assholes. They're gonna join the party back up.
Miss Hannah, we are not eligible to answer that question. I don't know
if our state is allowed to answer that question at this point, but I can tell you that this cup I have right here is rather tasty.
Now, if you're in a state that does not care, please feel free to speak up. Once again, we just want to be within the guidelines here. We don't want to upset any moderators.
We're not here to break any laws. I'm absolutely 21. I'm almost double that at this point.
Oh, whoa.
Almost. Cheers to that.
You're right, no doubt. I say that because I'm getting to a point where I'm starting to realize age myself.
It is legal if it's medical.
That is true.
Right. So you have to have your card if you have your card.
But hopefully next year it'll go recreational and we can
again after watching my father pass away from cancer and watching that was the only thing that gave him any sort of appetite or soothing to the pain. Of course, this was 17 years ago. I'm very pro marijuana because of I've read articles about kids in California, autistic kids taking. In fact, I just saw one the other day. It was all over Facebook about autistic kids taking CBD oils and this kind of stuff, and it's helping them with their autism. So if you can't see this, take a beer and shove it down an autistic kid's throat, and then let's see how much that really helps anybody out, and see if we're gonna, change the rules a little bit here. I mean, this is the same thing that happened 100 years ago. Is prohibition with beer and alcohol. Prohibition happened back in the early 1900s, and it's the same thing in the early 2000s. Here we go. What's gonna be in the 2100s? Everybody's gonna be like pro cocaine or something like that.
Miss Hannah has brought up the fact that this is so far just speculation on that some part of CBD and or marijuana has been somewhat proven to kill cancer cells.
That's the article I saw the other day.
And what do you know about that?
I don't know much about it, but again, I just know it quells the cells themselves, and you could say the word. No, I can't say the word, but yes, it has been known to help people. In fact, I know somebody personally that had suffered from COPD, and she smoked, and here she went to the doctor, and without telling the doctor what she had done, it was the doctor proclaimed that her lungs had looked better because not necessarily healed, but it was just they had progressed better and she could breathe better, and she was off oxygen for a while, back on oxygen now, not smoking anymore. But it's again prohibition. It'll go away in a year or two. Federal government has already said they don't give a crap about it. So who cares at this point? What does it matter? Back to what did we say last night? Mind your own business. What was it? What did I say?
We're definitely on mind your own business.
Yeah, just kind of. If you're not hurting anybody, then what's the issue? More alcoholics, DUIs, and accidents all the time. There was a crash, killed because he drank too much and hit a little girl, and you lost a little kid. How many people get too high and fucking wreck a car? Nobody. That's stupid shit. They usually go 20 miles an hour under the speed limit and don't hit nothing because they're too scared out of their mind. It's just dumb. And if you are new to smoking weed, I get it. You're a lightweight. You shouldn't be operating heavy machinery anyway under the influence of anything. You shouldn't smoke until you're 18, 21. Let's put an age on it. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. Put an age on it, just like anything. But we're adults, and we should be allowed to do whatever we want. I'm not going to go shoot up heroin, but if I chose to do that, and I'm in my house and I do what I want and I die, that's my own fault. I'm an idiot. I chose that path. Why do I need a cop to tell me, well, you can't do that? Why? Well, because I say so. Well, you say so. Why? Are you my daddy? Well, no. Well, I'm in charge of you because I'm a judge, I'm a cop, I'm whatever. But
something appointed by the state to have authority over, say,
because we're all children and we
citizen.
can't control our own choices. If you're stupid enough to do it, you choose what you want to do. Let's do it. Let's just do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. If you want to drink 50 energy drinks in a day, that the people do that and overdose and die. But energy drinks are sold by the bazillions on a regular basis. That's okay. But weed is still illegal around here. A lot of places. We're getting way better. This country is starting to loosen up. I think it's realizing, again, back to the Canada thing.
Canada, for sure, is a big leader in what has been going on lately. I feel like they are at least feeling pressured to
step it up.
Yeah.
We got to step it up in America. I'm not saying that we got to be better or anything like that. That's not the point. It has nothing to do with that.
We can't beat Japan. Japan, China, all those countries have us beat by a lot.
There's a lot of countries at this point that just dominate us. Intelligence. We're not talking nuclear arms and all that crap, because that's the best thing. Oh, America, we got bigger bombs. Who gives a crap? Are we smart enough? No. We're fat. We're stupid. We are just.
If you've never seen like memes and stuff from other countries,
oh my God,
about Americans, you're in the dark because they don't think too highly of us.
But we're so pretentious. That's the problem. We're just too high and mighty. Well, we're America.
That's it. It's narcissistic, fat, not funny.
And then you can't say that. Because immediately, well, you can't say that. Why? Because it's the truth. It's the truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth. Nobody wants to hear that it's your fault for being what you are if you're not comfortable in it. If you're comfortable being you, be you. But don't be unhealthy. That's the point. Don't be unhealthy. Don't put it to the point to where you're detrimenting your own life and you're stopping yourself from becoming what you want to be. And then all of a sudden, I can't stop because it's McDonald's fault or whatever. No, it's not. McDonald's didn't drive you there. You didn't eat that shit.
So down here in the chat, Miss Audrey has brought up the fact that it is wild that energy drinks get picked up on drug screens for meth. And Miss Hannah's not heard of this, no.
Really?
No fault of her own. But
I honestly didn't know if I heard of this either.
Well, Audrey
energy
says
drinks,
Monster Energies, especially, do that. And I actually kind of have a story to this. I was applying for, we won't say no names. I forget. I'm not gonna hate on anybody here, but I was applying for a job, and they did a drug screen beforehand, and apparently it was a really good one because they were asking me questions about all this stuff I've never even heard of before. And they're like, well, have you ever taken this? it's like normally for this and this for that, and I'm like, I've never even heard of that.
I
stuff
really
before,
didn't know Monster like energy drinks could do that. I mean, I knew her theory on poppy seeds for years.
Oh yeah, no, the poppy seeds is definitely true.
Legit.
That one is MythBusters did it.
Maybe MythBusters, if you're out there watching right now, maybe you're one of the 5 people watching. Do the energy drink crap. I want to see.
MythBusters isn't around anymore. They've been gone for a long.
But they
time.
do. Those guys still do YouTube stuff
on YouTube. Yeah,
maybe we can do our own little test sometime.
For sure.
I'm gonna go over here and drink a drink.
Oh yeah, no, hey, we can't be over here.
I'm not product placing yet.
No,
that's the problem. We haven't been funded by anybody.
We gotta save those spots for the worthy. You know, we could promote Kansas City here though, because
I know it's backwards, but
can we say Mr. Patrick Mahomes?
Oh,
you're
Mahomes,
the one, bro.
Dude, you are a saint. Like, oh my God, we got a tiny Tom Brady right up in here. Like, this is beautiful, but without all the cheating. Snap! I'm about to get kicked off. All right, love you all. Have a good night. It's been good. Oh snap! Oh, see, that's why we're doing this on Saturday night, because I don't give a shit.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna, like we said, it's we might say some stuff like that.
We'll be all angelic on Fridays.
Hitting it hard just got a little more serious than I ever thought it was tonight.
Yeah, so. It's whatever it is. We are here. This is fun. This is exciting. Number 4. I've never thought I would even do this, but because I've always in my head done this, but I've never done this. And here we are. 5 people. Are you one of them? Are you one of the 5? So okay, we got 4 minus the YouTube person, which I still count you, YouTube personality. I know you're behind the scenes and you can't chat and join the conversation, but again, you're still a human being, and this could affect you as well. Maybe you can go tell your friends and they will start watching behind the scenes.
Yeah, get some more of your coworkers over there in the office to put us up on their screens and be like, hey, check out these guys, doing something that's never been done before.
Watch us in your off time. Watch you. You don't work 24/7. Join the club. Subscribe. Come in here Friday, Saturday night. We're trying to come up with ideas to do during the week to keep people enthralled, interested.
We definitely know this live stream thing is not going to be the meat and potatoes forever. This is us just jumping on here, getting into it, putting our face, my voice, or his face, my voice, out there to the world, trying to get some people involved.
Yeah, so maybe we can get some people to give us some ideas. If you guys think you have something we could do better, we sound horrible. If I got a boogie, let me know.
No, let's not give them that option.
No, it's cool. Look,
what are you guys up to tonight? Share some stories. What do you got? What happened to you this week that you were not a fan of?
Yeah, tell me a bad story. Tell me something that messed you up. Why is my head look like it's glowing? This is ridiculous. Hold on.
It's because we're not
look at my
professional yet. We're
look at this. Is that a little bit better? My lighting's weird.
Everybody's got to start somewhere.
My lighting is so weird. I'm trying to make this better for you people. Look, we lost somebody. Now, why is that? Is that you?
No, I don't think that's me. I'm not going in and out. I'm here. We're stuck. I'm pretty sure Miss Hannah, Miss Audrey are a solid day one.
All right, there we go. That's a little bit better.
We're going to have to get you guys some personal tags.
Yeah, type something. We got to get the convo going. Hannah, say something. I got you going earlier. We've been talking for way too long. Audrey's a little spotty on her signal tonight. Okay, that's 2 people.
100.5.
For real?
Man,
that's epic.
That's pretty cool.
Like really, at that point,
we're sorry to hear that.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry to hear that. But that's fantastic.
That's pretty cool.
That's almost acceptable at that point, because that is an amazing feat. 100 years old.
I will definitely be ecstatic.
Let's take a drink.
Yeah,
for the lady.
Drink to grandma.
Cheers for grandma. Well, that's amazing. My grandma almost made it to 92, and I thought that was a feat. Women have a tendency to live way longer than men. Anybody notice this? Any of you dudes out there notice this? These women are outliving us. Not to call out a gender or anything, but
because we beat ourselves to death when we're younger, doing all the crazy stuff we do as men, throwing ourselves around as young men. Like when we're younger, we spar like kittens
Yeah,
and stuff.
trying to impress the ladies, trying to
Yep.
be number one dominant male, which
For sure.
nobody would ever be that. There's no possible way to be the best. So of anything,
No.
because eventually there will be someone that will beat you, and so it doesn't matter. So just enjoy being you, whatever you do, whatever you can do. It's way more exciting that way because once you can come to an acceptance, then everything that you do becomes easier, and it's less of a hassle just to argue to get out of bed, just to argue to go to work. I know people that cannot physically wake up and go to work without having a nervous breakdown, and I feel for them. It's not. I want to help them. I want to be able to say it's really okay. It's really, you're an amazing human being, and what you do is amazing beyond anything that you could understand. But instead of hearing those words, all they feel is the anxiety of failure, the worry of not making or not being good enough, and every person suffers that. Even those celebrities out there, the ones we were mentioning, Will Smith and stuff. There, you know how sad those people are. Sometimes I'm sure you know how depressed those people get. You know, depressed everybody gets. We're all sad together, and it only goes away when you can push past those things. And yeah.
So we got Miss Audrey.
Audrey,
here.
what
She's
you got?
a great subject.
All right, Audrey, great subject.
What is the dumbest thing you've done when you were younger?
Oh, immediately I got a story, but I don't.
Shoot, because I got one too.
Can I legally say this? I don't know if it matters.
Hold on, let's prerequisite this with
Eminem. Hey, what's up, Eminem? He's here tonight. Okay, we're gonna talk about dumb
Eminem,
stories.
Yeah, we're talking about straight up crazy stuff you did when
Oh
you were
my
younger.
God,
Mike,
I got some dumb.
You got a story.
Mike, throw some stories into this stuff.
I got a few, but okay, so let's
Here we
not
go.
get too crazy with the story.
Well, how did like I can
not
give
talk
one.
about anything like that was necessarily against the law. Maybe if it was fairly harmless,
not against
and
the
you went
law.
through it and you were
I
clear,
don't know if I can do this not against the law.
But
Hold
let's
on.
not bring any like open case laws.
Okay, hold on.
Like that.
Well, the statute of limitations is 7 years. If this happened 17 years ago.
Oh, we're good. I can talk about everything in my teenage years.
Okay, here we go. All right. One time. No, I'll give something simple. Here we go. But this is still kind of breaking the law for real. Like one time, me and my friends, we had a tendency to steal things in our 18 and 19-year-old time frames, and I would steal stupid stuff. It was nothing major. It was flags from like not American flags, but like I stole a smiley face flag one time. Just dumb crap. Little lawn fixtures. It was something stupid. It was always something stupid. It was never anything major. I never stole from a store, never stole thousands of dollars worth of stuff. But one time I took a road cone, one of the taller ones. How old was I? Like I was 17, 18 years old. It was on the side. It was in like near a trash dumpster area. And because it was broken in half, it was bent down the middle. So I was like, okay, nobody's around, but it was one of the taller ones. So I took this thing home and I turned it into a lamp. I cut the top of it off, spray painted it black, and I turned it into a lamp. I took the lamp innards out of another lamp and I put it on top of this thing and I ran a cord through it, and the thing worked, and it sat in my living room for 6 to 8 months. It's pretty awesome. I mean, so kind of illegal.
I was definitely a road code bandit. Like me and my friend, for some reason, we always thought it was so funny when we'd see a construction site to just low down and snag a cone. And I even got pulled over once on the side of the highway for speeding. I beat that ticket. And he made me take my whole trunk out because he wanted to search the vehicle. And I had a code in there at the time that said, property of City of Vallejo. And I was like, oh. He's like, where'd you get this? I just happened to have it. And he was more interested in wasting my time, thankfully, than actually getting me in trouble. But
Speaking of putting in the trunk, my father told me this story. This was dumb. You know, the not only road cones, but those the traffic, the we'll call them sawhorses, the ones that have the little yellow lights that blink.
Signs,
The blink. He took one of those and put it in his car, and he couldn't get the blink to stop. So he's driving down the road, and the inside of his car is just blinking yellow because they're putting towels and stuff over it. They didn't have enough stuff in the car to cover this thing up, and he said he got away, but he just as they're driving down the road. Yeah. It was fantastic. So yeah, we've all done stuff. Who stole something? Anybody else out there? I know you all are thieves.
I've got a horrible theft story. So
names, no names.
When I was 13, I think I can say this because I'm pretty sure that Rite Aid's not there
anymore.
You
were 13.
I was 13, I'm pretty sure. I went into a Rite Aid, and I think I was even just there to use the bathroom. The intent was not to steal. But I was walking out, and this is how stupid it was. And I'm still sorry, Mom. Because she had to pay like $500 something to rectify this whole thing because I'm an idiot. But it was a freaking 2-pack of the gel pens.
Yeah.
And a pack of water balloons. And my mom had to pay like $500 and something. I think that's the dumbest thing I ever done that was public. Here's definitely the dumbest thing I've ever done that until this point was shared with close friends and whatnot. But as a kid, playing with matches, don't do that. I'm pretty sure we're all adults, so but if you're still young, don't play with matches.
Only play with matches when you're an adult. Yeah. Kids learn that once you're 18 to play with matches.
Don't play with matches when you're an adult. If you're playing with matches as an adult, you probably don't need to be playing with them at all.
Yeah.
But I was in the backyard, and I was trying to be safe. I'd strike a match, watch it, wave it out, make sure it stops smoking, throw it on the ground, right? And eventually I got to a point where I was seeing more smoke than I should. And I looked down, and here's all this smoke coming out of this one spot in the grass. And I was like, oh, man. And I start stomping it, and I guess some embers went, and then the hole around my foot lit up. And I was like, oh, no. And there was this, for sale sign nearby. And I was like, okay, I got this. And I threw that on top, and same effect. It just spread the width of the sign.
Because it just blew the flames out the side.
The flame out the side. So I still haven't learned my lesson. Hold on. There's a door, like an old door nearby too. So I'm like, okay, the sign didn't work. It wasn't big enough.
Oh my God.
I was a kid, okay? I was a kid. This is why you don't do this, because even when it goes to hell, you can't fix it. And I was like, I got the door. I got it up there. I threw it down. Whoosh, as big as the door. Now I'm standing there with like a 6-foot circle of fire, like, oh no. And I had a decent sized backyard. It wasn't like this mansion we're in right now, but I had a really decent sized backyard.
No, people are going to start wondering about what I live in. Like, no.
It's okay. They don't need to know. It's okay. So I was like, do I run back to the faucet and get the hose? I was like, no, that's going to take so much time. It's already down to an 8-foot circle. As I'm like, what do I do? While I'm stomping choo-choo style in a circle around the perimeter of the fire trying to think. And I think it was a huge circle. It was so big that in the end, I finally got it out. I think it was like a 20-foot circle at this point. I don't even remember how I got it out. It was all a blur after I'm not getting the water hose. And I think I just choo-chooed the hell out of it. And, dug a ring and got it out. But then there's all this black grass, and I had to dig all that up and dispose of it. So there's just this huge bare spot in the yard. And my mom comes home, and she's like, what happened? And I was like,
I mowed.
No, I really like digging holes. And if she ever gets on here, she can attest to this. Like, I dug a hot tub size hole in the backyard once. It cost her a considerable amount of money to fill it in. So I was just like, I was digging
to our moms.
Hole.
We apologize for all the dumb shit we did when we were kids.
You're going to hear a lot of these stories.
Speaking of setting stuff on fire. Okay. Very similar, very, very similar story. Very similar. There was one time me and my buddy Bo, Bo ain't gonna be watching this, but Bo, growing up in the neighborhood, we across the street was a row of houses, and right behind that was a field. Usually had corn, but right before the field there was trees, and there were certain seasons that things weren't growing, so we'd go back there and play. And 4th of July came around and went, and a month or two later, we're out in the field playing, and then we want to play with fireworks, and we didn't have any punks. So we came up with this genius idea of starting this tiny little fire in the middle of the field. So we start this tiny little fire, and we started letting off fireworks. Pew, pew. But there's overbrush, so they had combed it so it all fallen, but so it was still on the top. So we started the fire here, but all of a sudden, about 10 feet over there, poof, pops up a little fire. So, oh shit, we go over and put out that one. Then over there, about 10 feet, poof, pops up another little fire. This fire is running underneath the brush and just popping up little sprouts all over the place. And I'm 13, 14 years old, freaking out. So we take off our shirts and we're beating this fire down, and we get it all under control. And we're looking around, and we're not near a garden hose because we're in the damn field. And I walk home to my dad, and I tell him the story, and he says, okay. And he hands me a water jug full of water, and he says, go make sure it's out. That was it. So I went out to the field. There was no fire. Poured that water out. Didn't get in trouble. Didn't set the field on fire. So that was a nice little ending to that one. But that was scary as shit when you're 13 years old and you look around and there's just fire popping up out of nowhere.
Oh, I think I would have probably just bailed in the first place and been like, this is.
If I would have done that,
beyond me.
Coke. If I would have done that, my dad would have murdered me. My dad was not the aggressor type, but if you disobeyed or did something stupid, he would let you know very swiftly what was going on. It was more. It too. Yeah, it wasn't the hey, you're a dumbass, I'm going to beat you with a belt. It's more of a you're a dumbass, I'm not going to say anything to you for a while, make you feel like shit. It was more or less that's what it was.
Oh, I'm not highly sure that's any better.
Yeah, psychologically speaking. But again, my dad never, I think maybe once put his hands on me because he didn't have to, because it was unnecessary again because he just psychologically.
I'm not highly sure I was ever spanked either by my father. I don't think I was ever spanked by anybody. My mom was definitely the lecture giver, and my dad.
Michael Myers did the shit. Your mom was the lecture giver.
My mom was the lecture giver, and my dad was
Yep.
hard labor.
Yep.
If I messed up one time, I still to this day don't remember what I did, but I had to shovel all this gravel, and it was horrible. And I don't know why, but I shouldn't have did that.
You shouldn't have done the thing to lead you up to the gravel, or like do you remember what you did?
I can't remember to this day.
You just remember that.
And I remember this other time that I got in a lot of trouble, and maybe that was the time I had to get up on the trellis and help put on the roof, because I don't do heights at all. So at that age, getting up on the roof as a punishment was real good. But I think it was the time I tied the dog to the wagon because, I was going all chariot, and I had a nice sized German Shepherd who was very apt at pulling me in a wagon. I'm
sure he pulled you up and down the street like crazy.
Oh,
no wonder you love speed. Just running with the fucking dog all day long.
All day long.
A Diderot style.
For real. But my dad was pissed. He was like, "You do not do that," and I was all like, "The dog loved it." I mean, he was running. That's what Toby loves to do.
Eminem, well, you get a lot of beatings. Maybe is that why you're so short? Oh, I love this fucking dude. Like, if you all got with Eminem. He's good. He's good people. Look at this. 7 people watching. You see that right now?
Hey, can we get 3 more in here so we can get up to double?
We want to get double digits. That's like our ultimate first goal right here. Well, second goal. Do we have any more goals? There was something to do with viewers.
We got 1,000 viewers, 4,000 watch hours. Or no, I'm sorry. It's 1,000 1,000 subscribers,
subscribers,
4,000 watch hours. That's what we need to go.
Like 10,000 views or something like that.
And I don't remember.
Go to the next level. Whatever. The point of this is not only for real. You got the selfish part and the helping part. There's absolutely both in this. This is again that balance. I'm 100% selfish in who I am, but I'm also 100% giving and who I am, because I like, if you really know me, and like I love to help people, but I love to help people again because it makes me feel good, and I love to feel good. So if you really look at it though, that's not a bad thing.
Is it? Because I mean,
well,
I've never known how to feel about that either, because I'm all about making people smile, trying to brighten people's day. But at the end of the day, it's kind of so I can feel good about brightening their day.
Right. But
so does that cancel?
If what makes you feel good is to kick puppies in the face.
Whoa.
Yeah, again,
those
because
horrible people.
Right.
Hey,
because
I know Saturday night's way out there, but I don't even think
so. That shouldn't be a thing. So the fact that the one thing that makes us feel good is to make other people feel good is good. If the thing that made us feel good was something that was bad, I could foresee that maybe as a bad thing. But we're trying to help the universe at this point. We're not trying to hinder the universe. We want to make it better. These are those pinnacle moments that I want to look back in 10 years and go, that person really actually gave a shit and really stepped to what his word said was, and is going to do what he did, because I really want to do these things that I say I want to do. I'm not going to tell you everything I want to do because it's not necessary. I don't need to brag about these things. It's just, I'll do it underlining. I don't need to tell everybody. It's going to happen though. It would help the whole world. You don't have to be president. You don't have to be a world leader to make a change.
You don't have to be some Russian girl screaming her head off on TV.
You don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to have millions of dollars. The words are impactful and powerful. So if one of you takes anything that I said and goes tells someone who's your friends, and that person goes and does something nice for somebody else, and then that person goes, again, butterfly effect. I say again, I haven't mentioned this yet, but I'm a firm believer in that. Not necessarily changing things, but I believe that the tiniest of impacts in the current situation can completely affect the future and make it a better place. So if we continue to do this on a regular basis,
well, it's like they talk about,
someone's going to give.
Kind of
someone's going to be happy.
Realm of I think it's gamma blasts or something from the sun. For it to really affect you, it has to be aimed directly at the earth. And if it's off by even the smallest margin, the sun is so far away from the earth that in its travel, it's going to miss by thousands of miles. But doing something kind is kind of like the opposite of that. You can aim so short and hit
so
really
much,
far,
so much,
really far. Like you may change somebody's day for the next 3 days off of your one
just the tiniest thing. It's butterflies. just butterflies. Just anytime you have a bad day, butterflies. If you have a bad day and you tell someone else a bad day about something bad day, and you go into your restaurant of choice and you order a food and you sound a little smitey, and the waitress was like, goes back and, well, that person was a bitch, I don't want to help her. And then now the cook is be like, oh, the waitress just said that person was a bitch, we don't want to help them. So now you got 3 cooks cooking your food for you. It doesn't feel good. But you see the vicious cycle that these things help. Like, really look at the impact of what you do, and the way you smile, and the way it could be so much more. It could be so much more.
And there's no reason that you have to just remain strictly positive, because not everything is positive. Again, yin and yang. Yeah, there's going to be negative. So maybe the cook's not having a good night, and that's why your food came out a little lackluster. You can say, hey, I know you're really busy right now, but I'm sorry, this wasn't that great. And, they'll understand that, hey, okay, yeah, I'm not having a good night. That's what happened. And they were really nice about it. So let me get them a new one. I'll try harder. And they won't just try harder for you. They'll try harder for the rest of the night.
Right.
And then you.
A little bit of words, of encouragement, a little bit of sort of just nobody talks to each other anymore. Nobody wants to be positive. There's nobody wants. It's ridiculous. It's so simple. It's the same as a blinker. Hey, you remember earlier when I gave the demonstration of the blinkers? I'm gonna do that shit again. Watch this. Both hands, same time. I'm gonna go real quick. Left, right. Amazing. Twice. Free information given to you right there. A breakthrough show. My cousin just joined. Tyler, I don't know if you're watching right now. Tyler, I love you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. You're my family. I don't know if he's going to type out there, but Tyler is he is my cousin's child, and he's been around a long time. I think he's dude. I don't want to guess your age because I feel like an asshole. I don't know your age, but
Hannah wants to know if you're married.
Why in God's name would I be married? No. I am not. I'm not married. I'm not nothing. I'm a single old person.
You're not even that old. Can you stop saying that? Like, guys, old is another way to just put yourself down.
That is a category that I don't fit in. I do not fit in a category. I don't make any sense. I'm not old. I am not. I'm a person in a life force on an energy field traveling through an existence plane amongst the star material. That's about it. I don't know how this.
Amen.
Yeah, there's nothing other than that. We're stardust. Do you know that you are actually made of molecular structures, the same material as stars? Look it up. That's a Google thing. Google that shit real quick. Hey, gonna have to call it a night. My service. Well, no, duh. You're in a tent. She's in the middle of the woods. Like, my service is in and out. You're in the same spot all night long.
The fact that you have service in the woods is still remarkably impressive.
I do appreciate the love, Audrey. Thank you for tuning in. We're losing viewers as we speak. We just got cut in half. So real quick, so everybody must be in the woods. Just losing their signals.
Hey, at least you're out camping this weekend, I guess.
It's nice outside. What's the temperature? I don't even know what the temperature outside right now. It says 42 degrees, and that is definite camping weather. I wouldn't
mind 42. I mean,
Eminem, what you got?
I'm a cold weather person. You can attest to that.
Eminem, you need to get your homeless friends involved with.
Where are they at this Saturday night? They're chilling. They need to come watch us. They can tell all their stories.
What's the shit? We need to
tell us about the bullshit human beings they deal with on a daily basis. Those people not giving their change on the corner, just driving by, not caring about your needs.
Yeah. I see homeless people all over the place. Even though, homeless people.
Oh man.
See, I don't know. Here we go with the balance shit again because you don't know. What's up, cuz? Tyler, there you are. What's up, homie? There he is. I love this dude.
Back up to 7.
My family. It's there's not many of us left. So we gotta enjoy. Tyler, thank you, buddy, for joining.
I definitely shared that on my Facebook the other day. Is how people talk about how you don't really realize how much you care or miss somebody until they're gone. And personally, I spend every second thoroughly enjoying anybody I care about because you could literally leave their house and let's get some wood knocking going on here. I don't want nobody to have any bad times.
I hate that. I have that like habit of not talking to my family. It's not that I don't care. It's right? What is that? What is that blog? Anybody? Can you explain that?
I know what it is for me personally, and I'll share it in case somebody else is going through this. Me personally, I definitely don't call my dad because I feel like I have to have some kind of update or positive
That's-
something to tell them.
That's what
And
my
I
brother
just
says. The
don't.
same
I'm
shit.
just
That's not the point. You're supposed to talk to your family regardless.
The positive it remains. The positive part is communication. Your parents just want to hear from you and see how you're doing.
Yeah, they
know
don't care
okay.
if you're positive or negative because they're your parents. Like if they're
love you
your real
anyways.
parents, if they really actually give a shit. Tyler, you know what I'm talking about. Tyler, you've been going through some stuff. He is trying to be him, and everybody around my family, some of us, are not as understanding. So, in the brink of our grandmother passing away, shit, I sound like an asshole right now. It should be my 2 year or 1 year, but has opened the door for opportunity of understanding. And if really everybody just took a look at the person instead of the act, it would be okay. Because it's Martin Luther King. It's not the color of the skin. It's the context of the character. It's the character. It doesn't matter what you care about. It's a matter of your actions and the things that you do. If you are out there harming people, I don't give a crap if you call Christian. You're not going to be considered a good person. I don't care if you say, "Oh, I love God." I don't give a shit. If you love God and you're punching or kicking or hurting babies or whatever the fuck you do, no.
Unpopular vote. A lot of those people that love God kind of seems like, at least personally to me, this is just my personal opinion. Maybe I'm an idiot. That's your personal opinion. But it sure seems like the more religious they are, the more out there they are. That's what we'll call it. We'll try to be nice.
And it's not the belief. Here we go. There's a balance. The idea of faith to me is not a problem. The idea of a higher power to me is not a problem. The idea of organized religion who solidifies and breaks apart groups of people based on judgment and factors like that, that's the problem. When you start to put people into a box and you start to categorize people, that creates a problem. So if you stop saying the words black, Hispanic, you stop saying the words Catholic, racist, you stop saying the words, all these bad words, you put people in a category. We're all people.
Stop labeling.
We're just trying to do the same crap. We go to work, we eat food, we take poops, we sneeze, we cry, we watch TV, we take care of our family, we worry. It's we're all the same.
That's why we're here, guys. We are here to show you that we are the same. We're all here together. We're on the same ride. We're going to the same destination. There's no reason to fight. You're going to get there when you get there.
Whatever you believe.
Let's have some fun.
Whatever religion, faith you believe in, it doesn't matter, because what you see in front of you. He said last night something about a first-person shooter and the way that we all look at video games. Actually, take a look at your hands right now. Look through your eyeballs and look at your hands. If you've ever played a first-person shooter game, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. This is the ultimate first-person shooter. There's not another human being on the planet that is going to experience your FPS. There's not another person that was going to see your hands the way you do, the arms the way you do. So this is your life experience to experience the way you want to experience it. So why make it bad? Why drag other people down? Why try to? What's the point? Your legacy is going to be, oh, that woman was a bitch, and I remember that man was a horrible human being, and he was a dick every time I fucking talked to him. They were just bad people, and there was nothing positive that came out of their mouth. Who wants that?
Yeah.
Who wants that? Who wants to be that? Just enjoy your first-person shooter. You're three-dimensional. Look at yourself. Look out of your eyeballs right now. Like it's a fucking amazing. Like you're in the ultimate three-dimensional world that you have control over. Take control of it.
We're here. We're taking control. That's the whole point of this channel, is to get out there try something. You can watch us and be inspired. We're trying something. Episode 4.
This is something I had talked about. We have talked about and sat and talked about for years, and finally, I just said, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And here we are doing it. You take that first step. You take that first step, and then that second step is so much easier. That's the best part. Fear. The best things in life. Will Smith, I love you, Will Smith, are on the opposite side of fear. The best things in life.
And actually, with that, while we're going to stick with some inspirational stuff, my horrible summarizing here, one of the best speech things I've ever heard was the one about this gentleman who met a successful person. And he's like, man, I want to be successful like you real bad. And he's like, you really want to be successful? He's like, meet me at the beach. And he's like, the beach? Why the beach? He's like, you want to be successful? Be here, 6 a.m. on the beach. He's like, all right. So he shows up. You know, he's all dressed down. He's ready to be interviewed or whatever he's going to do for the day. And the guy's like, come in the water. The guy's like, what? Come in the water? He's like, come in the water. So he gets in the water, you know, up to his ankles, trying not to get his stuff all messed up. And he's like, no, come on. So he gets out a little farther. He's like at his waist. And he's like, no, come on. He's up to his neck. And the guy's like, come on. He's about to turn around and go back in. And the guy's like, I thought you wanted to be successful. And he's like, I do want to be successful. And at that time, the guy grabs him and shoves him under the water. And he's holding him under the water, until the guy's barely fighting anymore. And he lets him up. And he's like, what did you want the whole time you were underwater? And the guy really didn't answer. And he's like, you wanted to breathe, right? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, when you want to be as successful as much as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. You can't want it, but not do anything to get it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't work that way.
Everything is a fight. That even love is you have to work for everything. If somehow you are handed something, you still have to work to maintain that. If you were born into money and you're handed money, okay, now it's yours. Work for it, because Cash Money Crew from the 90s. I mean, simple rap group right there. I love those guys. Those guys did some good stuff in the 90s, and then all of a sudden just dipped out because overabundance, like too much all at one time. Mm-hmm. So you get all too much at one time, and then overabundance, and you don't appreciate what you got.
And that's kind of remaining true, because you don't really hear about these lottery winners like you did back in the day and stuff like that, and these randomly successful people, because nobody, the lottery winners that do win nowadays blow all their money in 48 hours and then they're broke again. They don't have
blows my mind.
Like, oh,
you
man.
Give me $1 million, I'm going to turn that into 10 million.
If you give me $148 million, like the next 5 generations of my family are set. Period. End of discussion.
Plus anybody in my 30-mile radius. Like,
come on.
Like, what is the deal?
What are you doing out there?
They're, I don't know. Greed. It's greed. It's just the human consumption, bacteria, parasite shit I was talking about last night. I couldn't get too deep into it. That's why I said bacteria. Humans are a parasite.
Absolutely.
We're not a bacteria. We consume and shit. That's what we do. And
we don't provide any useful function to this place that we call home.
The 1% of us that are actually doing anything are amazing. But and then we got about 10 to 20% of us people at the bottom that want to do something amazing, and we can't, because of the one factor in this whole fucking world that you have to be able to do anything is money. Without money, you can't be money. Even the people that start these funding projects, even all these, you hear that? The crinkle of money. Without that, you can't do shit. You got a message.
I sure do.
And that's what sucks, because you want to actually touch the world. You want to affect anything. Even Mother Teresa, amazing human being, but she had funding. She was able to fly across the world and go to these countries and touch these people because she had funding. I have no funding. That's what YouTube is for. That's what this whole thing is for. Because I want to touch people, metaphorically speaking, and their souls. I want to touch your souls. I want to get deep into your soul. If I say that too fast, it sounds really bad. But that's
Speaking
the point of this.
Souls, Miss Beffa here. Just saying hi to one of my best buds real quick. You're killing it.
Cat.
It's a little too loud in this bar right now, but I came to say hi, you pirate hooker. You're doing great.
Cat, I fucking love this woman. Yeah, this
Welcome,
girl.
Miss Cat.
Thank you for joining. You just because you can't hear me doesn't mean you're not inspired.
Get everybody in that bar onto us right now. You guys can come hang out.
Come over right now. Come if you walk into the door.
Now,
the door is unlocked.
Now,
I know the door is like 40 feet away because of my giant mansion situation. But if you walked in and walked past the butler and the maids and get all the way through the maze of confused butlers and maids, you'll join us. And then here we are.
Tyler.
I love Tyler. We got stories. Tyler and his brother Zach. We used to go to grandma's house and shoot guns and fireworks. Our uncle had a tendency growing up to torture us. Tyler, you can vouch for this shit. Remember all those mortar wars we used to have when Puckett was on the other side of the field and we'd be in the backfield shoving mortar. Like we'd be shooting bottle rockets and here comes a mortar across the fucking field that blows up across this because David thought it was, see? He knows. You see that shit right there? That's real life.
Time.
That's real life right there.
That is great. You guys sound like you know how to have some fun.
We're getting your drink on, Cat. Okay.
Hey,
ready to take a shot?
Right. We're here. Let's
ready to take a shot. Hey,
we're here
boom.
with you, Miss
Shoot,
Cat.
Cat.
Let's do it.
Whoa. Eminem, what are you doing? Tyler, what do you want? Tell a story. Give me a
bring up something.
Yeah, bring up something,
tell.
Tyler, that I can vouch for, and then we can roll with. Because there were so many stories from our grandma's house, man. Like all the shit we used to do.
Oh man.
Oh.
I guess this goes along with some of the crazy stuff we did as a child. Well, I did as a child. My dad used to live in this apartment complex, and the front of it was a steep hill. And my dumbass convinced my friend that, hey, I found this tire over here. And at the bottom of the hill, let me clarify this. At the bottom of the hill, there is a 4-lane road. And I'm all like,
oh, he mentioned something.
I see Courtney laughing. I'll finish my story.
Yeah, go ahead. No,
anyways, so we finally roll the tire down the hill, and he's watching, and no cars. We're trying to be safe. Again, I was like kind of thinking when I was little, but I didn't think it all the way through. And right before I rolled it, he's paying attention to me and not the road. So I roll it, and here comes all these cars. Like, where'd the traffic come from? Well, I almost hit a lot of cars, and there was a little bit of chaos, and the police showed up. I ran back to my apartment. Thank God my dad just happened to have to run to the store. I'm like, yeah, the store. Let's go to the store. Woohoo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hurry. You exit the scene of the crime.
Yes, let's go, Dad.
Yeah.
Good. Drive fast. Let's get there.
Yeah.
And so we come back, and the cops are investigating the situation. That'll tell you how fairly severe it ended up being. And they found my friend. And my friend ratted us out. He's like, "Yeah, we did it." So they came to my dad, and I got in a whole bunch of trouble.
Yeah, you did.
And that was no good.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean it's nothing major. We just used to jump off my grandma's gazebo that was sitting outside the pool, and especially in the wintertime, because she had the hot tub. So you would jump into the
in Missouri, yeah.
Yeah, no, 0 degrees. Like the pool's covered. Like now, this isn't.
You jump into a pool in the winter.
Yeah, and then you immediately get out and you run over to the hot tub, which is sitting at 110 degrees. So yeah, that was pretty cold. Pretty cold. Yeah. Straight to the pool. See, he knows. He knows. It's like verification right there in the comment section. Verification.
Yeah, you guys definitely had some fun when you were younger. That sounds like something I would do. Like, I don't get cold, so you guys are doing your own version of the polar dip. in your backyard.
No, that was
In the most epic
You just
fashion.
pull back the corner of the tarp, and yeah, there you go.
Wow.
But grandma's in the middle of the woods, so you can take your guns out there and all sorts of
That's where I
stuff.
want to be at. Like I said, I grew up in California. I'm definitely a city boy through and through. You put me in the woods, and I'm freaking out. I don't like bugs. Yeah.
The caterpillar.
I was waiting for you to say
The
that.
fucking caterpillar.
Oh my
This dude
God.
right here. Okay,
Tell it.
we're
You can
picking
tell
up. We're building sheds, and his job at the time was to pick up the trash or debris that was on the bottom of the shed because we had finished. We made the roof, and it was closed off. We got the doors on. Everything's going good, and he, I guess, is in the shed because I'm outside. He's in the shed picking up trash off the ground, and he had bent down and grabbed a caterpillar.
A furry black caterpillar.
A little
I thought it was like this insulation
caterpillar, and then he just comes running out the shed like Little Red Riding Hood seeing the daddy bear, and
Fucking
just
cussing. I was
just so pissed. Just so
nah.
pissed. Oh, it's so
Man,
fucking funny.
they were
It's just
like,
a caterpillar.
What's happening?
It
I
was-
was like, oh, I just touched a caterpillar. It's
He
okay.
touched a
It's just
caterpillar.
a caterpillar.
Oh
I'm
my
losing my
god,
mind.
it was
I
great.
don't do bugs.
So he's not a bug person, obviously. It's
Nope.
hilarious.
I usually got a better one than that. I was at my buddy Billy's house, and we were getting ready to leave. Same thing. I have all this. I get in the back seat of the car, and I got all this stuff in my lap, phone, all kinds of stuff. Like I like everything I had that day in my lap. And this grasshopper freaking kamikazes me through the window, straight like right here in front of my face. And I lose it, and I explode out of that car, and like it was like a cartoon panel. It's just like me
It's
busting
a
out of the car door,
grasshopper.
stuff flying everywhere, all because of a grasshopper. Thanks, honey.
That's some hilarious shit.
Oh
Grasshopper.
man, yeah. I don't do bugs at all. I don't like them. You can't commit. I don't do heights either. You know, Mr. Billy over there thought it'd be real funny one day to get me up in a 16-foot tree stand. Mr. Courtney here can attest. He's seen me on roofs and stuff, and I'm not about it.
No, not a
No,
hyper.
I don't
It's like
do
a
it.
freeze situation. You just get up and you're like,
Yeah, he can tell you because he'd always tell me, you need to move. You need to move.
Tyler doesn't like bugs either. It's okay.
I'm like, I'm trying to do my best up here, Courtney.
He can feel your pain. He understands the
I'm
situation.
doing what I can up here.
Look, we got a Letitia. Letitia. Who is Letitia? What's a
She's
Letitia?
black.
She's
Oh,
definitely
I'm
black.
sorry, is that offensive?
Maybe she's black and identifies as white. Is that a thing?
Oh,
Letitia.
That's okay.
Sounds like a black name, especially with the last name.
20, yeah, Harvey. That's hey. Any relation? Can you get your daddy, cousin, uncle up on here? Steve's
Daddy, cousin, uncle.
Yeah, hey, get him on here.
Oh
we need some
shit!
special guests and whatnot.
Invite some people. Kat, you still out there? We got Eminem, Tyler, Hannah, Letitia, whatever that is, in the house.
Hey, Mr. Tyler knows a white Keisha and Lacrissa. Is
Lucretia?
that what it's called?
Lucretia?
That's out there. Are you sure she's white?
No, she's not white. Lucretia. That's a good one. I like it. No, that's too many. You're just trying too hard to make up a name at that point.
Man, I met this kid the other day named Kyler, and I mean that's not like
That's not.
super inventive, but I've never heard it before.
That's a good one. That's a good
pretty cool.
inventive. Tyler, and a K.
I definitely tried real hard. Miss Harvey can attest to this. We tried for a very long time with our first kid to come up with an original name, and we eventually ended up naming him Silas off the TV show Weeds. And at the time, you know, again, just like that whole you get a car and then there's like 90 billion cars,
Yeah.
just like
All
on
of a
the
sudden,
road.
here comes a Silas.
Yeah, and then here's like 90 billion Silases. I was like, I've never heard Silas before ever, and now we got Silas. And then our second child was Caden, spelled Kaden. I wanted to spell it Kayden,
Oh shit!
but apparently that's inappropriate for a boy.
Uh,
But it's 2019.
Well, it gets better than, man. I met this kid. This is a real name. This is no joke. His name Harry Balds, 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 Harry Balds. Like your last name is Balds. You choose to have a child, and when that child is born, you don't try to distinguish between the last name. You just name him Harry. Like that's just setting him up for failure. Harry Balls. What the fuck?
That was another thing that took us so long to try to come up with the name is it couldn't like rhyme with anything stupid. The initials couldn't be turned into anything stupid.
Larry Ferry or Rick the Dick or I get it.
Something
No.
like that.
Like no, my child, y'all can figure this out if you don't know the name. It's named after a murderous TV show. So that's, I have the show. It's right over there in the.
Oh yeah.
I mean, at the end of the hallway, if you go down 3 bathrooms, turn to the right, past the 4th bedroom on the
right
left.
there, right
past the fountain and
I know you forget how big this place is.
Yeah, this place is so huge.
But I mean, it happens.
If you haven't figured out, I have a giant house.
Everything's everywhere. There's
snap.
still only one kitchen though. Here's my thing. Okay. Everybody's like, oh, I have 13 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms. That's cool, bro. But
Why?
you've got 15,000 square feet, and you're telling me I'm gonna walk an 1/8 mile
Why?
to the kitchen? No.
Why?
I'm gonna have multiple kitchens, and I'm gonna walk 30 feet for a drink. Like that's when you're winning.
I'm gonna have
when
one giant
kitchens
and like just everything around that,
Yeah,
or even have a
little
second
snack bars.
No,
You have like
yeah.
the main kitchen.
You have
and
your
little
second
snack bars
like
all
a tiny.
around.
You have a second tiny guest bathroom. Why not have a guest kitchen?
Like
A guest kitchen.
Hotel
Yeah,
kitchen setup
it's not a big stove.
That's
but
what I'm talking
It's
about.
not a big microwave, but you could get some popcorn in there. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
That's
Guest
what I'm talking
guest
about.
kitchen. Why is that not a
You,
thing?
elevators, floors, rooms don't matter.
A guest living
Multiple-
room. I don't want to be around you. You go to the guest living
Hey,
room.
get off to the west wing over there. I'm not feeling you today. Use the other kitchen.
The guest outdoors.
The guest backyard.
The guest
Hey,
garage.
if you just we're not talking about the in-laws unit. The guest backyard separated by a fence and everything.
To bring those people that you don't want around you together. Oh, wow.
What?
What's going down?
What's going on? What are you guys up to? You guys are just watching us. Again, the point of the show is conversation.
What do you want to talk about? Give me a topic. We'll go real quick.
What's up, Mike? Give us something. You always have some crazy
T-dubs.
stuff to say. So
What you got going on?
throw something out there, Mike, and we'll run with it.
Miss Hannah, you got a topic. We have 5 people. So I'm counting. Eminem, we got T-dubs, we got Hannah. That's 3. There's 2
Tisha
people.
might still be here.
Letitia, you still out there? You black lady, woman, you. Anybody else? We got that could be. We're missing a 5th person. We're still running on the YouTube person.
Yeah, where's our YouTube guy? And then I'm number 6.
Number 6. So that's 2. So we got 4. We got TM or T-dubs, Eminem.
Miss Hannah, the drink for the night is not vodka. I believe this stuff.
Can I cross the label out?
Yeah, you can't be showing
Like
no
this?
brands and stuff. If there's a,
Is that good?
I don't know.
You think that's good?
I don't know.
You
Quick
see
flash,
this?
3 seconds.
Boom, boom.
Oh, yep. That's where we're at. If you recognize it, then you recognize it. But
We get that brand label off there.
you gotta maybe use that blur feature next time.
We hit 7 people tonight. Minus you was 6. That's pretty good, actually.
We're doing all right.
We're
getting
trying to
up
get to
there.
the double digits again, announcing that.
For sure. If we can ever get to 10, we'll be
Eminem,
ecstatic.
you need a car, you son of a bitch.
Oh, hey, Eminem earlier was telling you that you need to let him borrow your car, but I don't think he's aware that you have a new car.
Yeah, Eminem, you need to see.
You got another new car, Eminem. I know he's got like 9, and that's why you're like, oh, it's cool.
9? What the hell?
Well, you got to fill
Well,
the garage.
Yeah, you count the Tesla, the BMW, the Mercedes, and all that. My helicopter. Then I have so many vehicles.
Right? You can just let Mike borrow one. It's no big
But I'll
deal.
bring over my Honda.
Yeah, let him borrow the Insight. There you go.
Get a fucking neon going up in here.
Hey, neons are kind of cool.
They are. They got a beastie little
SRT4s
engine.
are cool. SRT4s are very fast for no reason.
What's the no, T-Dubs? What do you mean no?
He's probably talking about your wild success that you're speaking.
No, I don't have no success, bro. I ain't got no money. You want to see what I ate for the past few days? Give me my peanut butter jar.
Hey, that is not a lie.
That is a real lie.
Now we got off live stream last night, and he's like, "Man, I'm hungry."
I don't have a Honda.
And
I'm just kidding. I don't have a Honda.
Get your no. Sorry, hey,
Toyota.
You already know how I feel. I cannot.
I can give him the brand, right? Should I give him the brand?
We're hating on Toyotas right now. I'm hating on Toyotas.
Can I type in the brand?
We get demonetized. I don't care on this one. Toyota. I don't know what it is about your drivers. If there's like a special test.
Yeah. Okay. You hear what he said? He didn't say the cars. He said the drivers. Keep going.
They have to sell to like specific type of people, and this is just again my personal opinion. I don't know anything for factual nothings, but I can tell you one thing: every single car accident I've been involved in that was not my fault was with white Toyotas. And
statistically speaking, this isn't a hate on the company itself. It's a hate on the morons behind the wheel.
You make a good product, Toyota. Your cars are good. It's just
your people are stupid. Forte. Hey, you got a fuck you in there. You see that?
Oh, who is upset?
She's red.
Yeah, she does drive a red Toyota, but you're part of the problem. I've seen you drive, and I'm not gonna lie.
Don't hate the player, hate the Toyota. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, maybe Toyota just makes your guys' spirit something crazy, but you're most prone to not use your blinkers. I tell you what, man, some of the best people I've seen on the road statistically, from my personal opinion, is Nissans. Nissans will always do what you want them to do. In a time where I'm like, oh, it'd be really respectful if they got over, or they need to do this if they want to get in, they always do it. I don't know what it is about Nissans. I feel like brands absolutely do attract certain types of people because, again, that's their goal with their marketing. Like, for a while, I was like, man, BMW drivers. Again, not hating on you guys. I'm sure you're not all bad, but you got this thing where you're kind of dickheads on the road. Mm-hmm. And then I found out that freaking BMW slogan is on the road.
Yeah.
There's the problem.
Yeah, just give that pretentious staple right from the beginning.
Yeah, drive a BMW, you're on the road. No wonder they're cutting everybody off and not using their blinker and driving like they're
has nothing to do with the brand or the style of the car, the way the engine runs, or anything fucking like that. It's the people that get behind the wheel.
Absolutely.
Individually, we're morons. As a community, we could be more than that. If you actually, it takes a village. Remember that saying from like a long time ago? It's called "It Takes a Village." That's no shit. The village is gone.
That's what happened.
Everybody is just so stuck on their own world. And I know I said last night, worry about yourself. But again, if you really look at that phrase, it has nothing to fucking do with only taking care of yourself.
Absolutely.
The words are worry about yourself, which means that there's an element of taking care of the people around you, because then again, they would take care of you. If we took care of our neighbor, how many people have introduced themselves or talked to their neighbors? I know every single person in my apartment complex, and all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might have forgotten a couple of their names, but I have met every single one of them. I have talked to them about something. And that's the way I am. Have you talked to your neighbors? Do you discuss life with the people around you?
No, I absolutely do not talk to any of my neighbors. I somewhat converse with my immediate neighbor, and that's legitimately, hey, bro, what's up, man? How you been? How's work?
But even that is more than what most people do. Hey, how are you doing? Is a simple gesture of human kindness.
This is true.
That is the same. That is just a passing by. You don't have to talk about your life story. You don't have to stand there with that person for 6 minutes and discuss, oh, this person at work did this, that, and the other. A simple, how do you do? That's what you did to the postman years ago. When the dude came up and gave you his mail, that's what you do. You walk past the human being. How you doing, Mr. Johnny? How you doing, Mr. Phil? And then you move on your way. That doesn't happen anymore. That's why I love old people. Like that generation is gone. A generation of people that gave a shit, that actually talk to each other, is missing.
You were talking.
Sucks.
You were talking last night about if you have the opportunity to talk to an old person. I agree. I love talking to older people, over 50, 60 years old.
Somebody from the 30s, somebody from the 40s.
Yeah, I remember this one time. Even as a teenager, I'd sit and talk to old people. I met this old gentleman to get my tires changed. And I think maybe it took 30 minutes to get my tires changed. Shout out to Big O Tires in Vallejo, California. But, yeah, I think I stood there for 2.5 hours talking to this gentleman. He was just telling me about his life story, what it was like living back then and all that good stuff. And I mean, it's really, really intriguing.
Sometimes it can get intense. I talked to an old man from the Vietnam War on a bus one time, and he was describing a story to me. I'm not going to go into details, so we're not trying to get all depressed and shit. But like when you can watch these people when they tell their stories, you can see it in their eyes, and he almost like flashed back to those moments of that. But it's they don't teach history in school anymore. I've heard this. I think it's blasphemy. I think it's beyond ridiculous. I without knowing what we are, where we came from, how do you know what we are in general? Oh, we're just existence. We just pop into existence, and no fucking point of what happened, how we came, regardless of what we fucking believe. There's options. Pick one. You can choose the one you want to believe in. That's fine, but get taught them. Learn the ones that are around you. Learn the shit that's behind us. Learn the things that we've been blinded from. It's pretty crazy. Growing up, you hear the thing about the Thanksgiving, and because we got that shit coming up, and everybody's like, oh, this, that, and the other, and really, it's not that peaceful of a story when you really break it down. I'm very anti-white people. You'll catch that drift. The more I talk, and it's not I hate us as a society. I just hate the things that we have done across human existence. Again, I know this. If you question me, well, why do you hate that? Because there's that balance, and you got to have the good with the evil. You're absolutely right. We have to have the good with the evil, but to the extremes that we as a white society go to prove our fucking point doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm very disgusted by the formula in which we follow. Maybe here in 100 years, that'll be the new prohibition. That'll be the new step of humanity, that we actually accept each other, because we mix now. I get it, and I love it. There's not as much hate, and we're a lot more accepting of what we become, because we're becoming other things that I don't even understand. But just the idea of the hate that white, it's white guilt. It's that bullshit that I feel like. It's the nervousness. Okay, tell me I'm not lying about this shit. As a white person, when you talk to another person of ethnic race, there's something inside you that tells you you need to appropriate them in a certain manner to make sure they understand that you're not a racist piece of shit. And the fact that I have to do that internally to make them understand that makes me disgusted because of my fucking ancestors. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with that person I'm talking to. It has to do with the past and the shit that has led up to this moment, which makes me feel the need to appropriate that, which is stupid. I shouldn't have to feel that way, because we're all fucking humans, and there's nothing different between me or the person I'm talking to. But because of the bullshit that we fucking went through, I have to feel this fucking way, and that's disgusting to me.
And I don't know why it has to be that way. Yeah, there's a good portion of people that are like, man, can you believe what like us as humans did back then? And when they say us, they don't mean like, yeah, I was a slave and you were a slave owner. They're just saying, as the human race.
As the human race.
It's crazy back then.
It's not an us thing. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, there should not feel the need for reparations at this point on either side of the board. It should, and I'm not asking for.
What do you mean you owe me money?
Right? I'm not asking for apologies from either side of the board.
No, I want an apology right now.
Yeah,
The
right.
show's not going to continue until you apologize.
I'm sorry for my white guilt. It's all of it's completely unnecessary. We just need to be in existence and understand that the past has led us here. Without the bullshit, you as a human would not be where you are, regardless if it's bad or good or whatever. You could be born in another country. You could be born in another family. You could be born in another situation that is not as good as it is. It could be worse than it is. It could be better than it is. But we are what we are. And because of that, we should be a little bit more accepting and understanding of the people around us.
For sure. Because there's no, like he's saying, there's no guarantee where we're going to end up. Like, particularly the very beginning of my story was all over the place. I could have went in like 6 different directions out the gate. And I just happened to get going in one of the better directions. Like, no, my adoptive parent wasn't rich. And they didn't have a lot of money, but I sure had everything I ever needed. And that's a lot better than the other 5 situations I could have ended up in.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm very thankful for every single day, every second that I've had the opportunity, even though I don't have nice things right now. I don't have a mansion like Mr. Face right here, you know.
My giant mansion.
Your giant mansion.
You can go sleep in one of my 13 guest bedrooms.
Cool. I don't have to go home to my tiny shack tonight.
Yeah. We're born into who we are, and it's because you are created by the universe and energy, God, an essence, whatever you want to put a label on it. It's all the same shit, essentially. It's an energy. It's something that's created us for the point of why we are here, and we have the options to choose the things that we want to choose, and you can choose that bad side. You could choose the good side, and
definitely what Mr. Tyler's saying. It is definitely up to you to make your life good. You even if you have the worst, look at a lot of the celebrities out here right now. Watch their origin stories.
How many celebrities like kill themselves?
Almost, or like were homeless, or their parents kicked them out, or they literally grew up in dirt poor families. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm pretty sure, you know, his family was dirt poor before he came over here to America, and then he was dirt poor in America for a long time.
And worked his way to the fucking top.
Yeah.
As a foreigner.
Now he's the governor.
The governor.
Was the governor. I don't know. He's not the governor anymore.
Yeah, whatever. He was the governor.
He made it to governor. Dirt poor to governor. Anybody can be anything.
Anybody.
That part is not
How
alive.
much do you want to push yourself? How much do you want to, like, do? Do you wake up with the thrive? Do you wake up and going, my day's going to suck.
I don't want to go to work.
Everything's stupid.
Even if you wake up and you're like, I don't want to go to work, but you know what?
I have to
persevere through
and I'm going to make it. You know, if you a job is necessary in our universe and in our world. So if you get past that point, when you're at your job, it'll be a lot easier.
And even if you don't get past that point, and you try to make it as good as possible, again, one little positive can make a big positive, and your day doesn't have to be bad. No. It's exactly what you think it's going to be. Words and thoughts are so powerful.
It doesn't matter.
It's insane.
It's what you want to create for yourself. For the past few years, I have been pushing to create my universe, and it's becoming exactly what I want it to be. If I could actually explain in graphic detail the road that I've been going through the past 3 or 4 years, I'm making it. This gentleman across the table right here is in the process of understanding that and doing the exact same thing. You will do what you want to do. If you feel ashamed of yourself, you will be ashamed on a regular basis. If you are a happy human being, and if you accept yourself, you will wake up accepting yourself on a regular basis. That's just the way it is.
And another thing that is super important is affirmations, which only proves that words and thoughts are powerful, because all an affirmation is a little reminder to yourself, You are awesome. You can do it.
Yeah.
You are good at this. You can make it through the day. Just
Even if it's the littlest things, we are ants in a colony that are supposed to do what we are programmed to do. But the fun thing, you get to choose your program. That's the difference between us and ants. You get to choose what you want to do. So accept your surroundings and do it. If you don't like it, fucking change it. That's what I do. I've been questioned about my moving around with my jobs and the things that I've done by several outside parties, and it has nothing to do with I don't fit in, I don't do this right, I don't like the job. I want to improve my status. I want to go to the next level. And if I recognize that the job that I am at is not going to take me there, I'm going to step out and I'm going to go to something better. There's no point in saturating. I've explained this to everybody around me. I'm a river. I'm not a lake. I'm a river. Lakes don't go anywhere. Lakes have the same amount of water in them. They have the same style of water. They might grow and sink, but they're going to be stagnant, and they're going to grow mold, and they're going to whatever. They're going to be good at what they do. Rivers flow. Rivers change. Rivers move. Rivers bind. Rivers collapse things. Rivers add. Rivers subtract. That's what I am. Become a river. Like push through this bullshit that you think you can't make it through, and become that passionate person. Even if it's the simplest thing. If you are a fry cook at McDonald's, simplest things. Become passionate about making fries, and see how quickly you move up to burgers, and then burgers to milkshakes, and then assistant manager. Whatever your goal is. You become passionate about yourself. Become passionate about every single job you have. I've been working since I was 14 years old, a physical tax-paying job since I was 14 years old, and it pays off because you learn this work ethic about yourself, and you just strive for better. If you want to be better, you will be better. That's simplest form.
But it is up to you guys. You are your biggest motivator, your biggest wall, your biggest help, and your biggest freaking, I cannot find that word, villain.
You're your own worst enemy. Anytime that I have stopped doing something was because I stopped myself. Because even if someone else said something about that, it all comes down to yourself. Okay, you take those words and you use them as power enough to stop you, or do you use them as power enough to proceed forward? And yeah, I'm doing this late in life, but at least you do it. I mean, at least I'm doing it. At least
trying is the first step. You think the thought and the brainstorm and the approach is the first step. Trying is the first step. Actually getting out there and putting into effect whatever it is you want to do, get a degree, find a better job. It's all about application.
Mm-hmm.
You have to apply yourself.
You take that first step. It's amazing how easy that second step is. Because, yeah, even this stupid little thing I'm doing right here, the first night I did it, 20 minutes. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. But the second night was so much easier because the night before, I got it out of my system. That jumping off the diving board, that going down the slide, that all that shit you feel when you're a kid is the same exact feeling. You remember jumping off the diving board for the first time in a swimming pool? Holy shit. The scariest fucking feeling in the world.
Matter of fact, I got a cool story with my oldest kid.
Listen to the story. I gotta go pee.
All right. Hey, nice for sharing. Anyways, so yes, my oldest child, we were going swimming, and I was trying to teach him about diving into the water because he's not a prolific swimmer yet. And I was all like, "Look, man, you gotta learn how to jump into the water, into the deep end, because you're gonna end up in a situation where everybody else is doing it, and I'm telling you, it's really fun. I know you're scared because all this stuff, it's the deep end, and you can't swim that well, but that's why you got to practice. You just got to do it." And we kept trying to do it, and he was very hesitant. And then you get a little while down on the road. We're at another friend's house. He happens to have a creek behind his house, and the kids are all swimming, playing, having a good time. And some of the kids are across the creek, jumping off the rock into the water, and he's just sitting there watching. And after a while, the kids start, hey, come on, let's go, come over here and jump off the rock with us. And he's like, no, and I encouraged him a little bit. I'm like, it's okay, you can swim. It wasn't really a big creek. You could get across it pretty quick, even as a half swimmer. But eventually, they finally got him to jump in the water. And man, I tell you what, it was game over from there. He was just jump. Huge smile on his face. And I didn't say anything to him in front of his friends because it wasn't about trying to embarrass him or anything like that. But at the end of the day, I was telling him about it in front of his mom, and I was all like, yeah, remember that time in the pool? You were so scared. You're like, oh, I don't know. And then now you're in this situation, and you finally did it. And it was easy, wasn't it? It wasn't as scary as you thought it was going to be.
Past those
And
limitations.
and now you're having a lot of fun.
It seems to be a little easier when you're a kid because you don't know the outcome. Because as adults, we're so aware of the possibilities of what could fucking happen. So when you actually jump off that cliff, you're like, oh, I'm gonna break my leg, I'm gonna break my foot, I'm gonna break my arm. No, dude.
It's gonna be okay. You're gonna have some fun. I mean, I wish kids had the ability to at least understand that we know what we're talking about, because I mean, some of us, I don't know about all the adults out there,
at least like
most of the ones with kids. I hope you got your shit together and you're not teaching your kid to do crazy stuff. But yeah.
What do you think?
I think we are at 91 minutes.
91
guys.
minutes. You guys are fantastic.
Thank you so much. We have been at a pretty much solid 6 viewers the whole time.
Yeah, this
so
is
I know
great.
You guys have all been here.
We're gonna try and leave something during the middle of the week. Maybe we'll see you get a little boost going. We're gonna do this again Friday, Saturday night. If you have made it this far, you're fucking awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Subscribe.
For the support.
Hey, can we get some likes, please?
Get some likes. There's some likes out there. Hey, Tyler,
let you
Eminem,
know that we're out
all you
here
5 people get some likes.
People, leave some likes.
Yeah,
Have
please.
a great night.
We thank you again.
Be awesome.
We'll see you next week, and we'll go from there. Thank you, guys. And remember, the only you that you need to be you is you.
Hey.
That's the only one. We'll holler at you next week. Love you guys. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.